My girlfriend ended our relationship 900 miles away with a text she sent to her entire family before she sent it to me. She told them we were taking a break.
Some breakups are like hurricanes. They hit you with loud noises, flying debris, and a whole lot of tears. Others are more like an earthquake, a sudden, ground-shaking shift that changes everything in an instant. And then there's my breakup. It didn't come with a shout or a sob. It arrived as casually as a weather update on a Thursday afternoon, while I was 900 miles away from home. I was standing in a conference room, facing a wall of corporate executives. It was the biggest pitch of my career, the kind of moment you dream about. My voice was steady, my presentation was flawless, and I felt like my entire future was lining up perfectly right in front of me. I was on top of the world. The session break finally came around 3:30. I grabbed my phone. Smiling, expecting a good luck text or a funny meme from Lisa. She was the woman I'd lived with for over a year, the woman I thought was my partner for life. But what I saw wasn't a good luck message. It was a text sent at 2:17 p.m. It read, "Hey, just a heads up. Told my family and friends we're taking a break. Didn't want you blindsided if people ask LOL. We can talk when you're back Sunday. Emma's wedding is Saturday. Gonna be crazy busy anyway." I read it once, then twice. Then a third time, hoping the words would magically rearrange themselves into something that made sense. But they didn't. She wasn't asking for a break. She wasn't even telling me we were taking a break. She had already announced it to her entire world. Our private relationship was now a public statement, and I was the last to know. The LOL felt like a punch to the gut. Who does that? How can you treat someone you supposedly love with such cold, casual disrespect? My mind went blank. All the adrenaline from my presentation drained away, replaced by a strange, icy calm. I typed back a reply, just 4 words. "Thanks for letting me know." There was no anger, no pleading, no confusion. Just a sudden, chilling clarity. It was over. And this was how she decided to end it. I walked straight to the hotel bar and ordered a whiskey. For the next 2 hours, I just sat there, the glass cold in my hand, and let the last 2 years play back in my mind like a silent movie. I thought about how she'd slowly moved into my apartment, one piece at a time. A toothbrush here, a box of shoes there. Soon, her stuff was everywhere. She treated my home like it was hers, redecorating, moving my things, but she never once offered to put her name on the lease or contribute to the rent in a formal way. It was always my place, my bills, my responsibility. I thought about how she'd grown so distant lately, how every little thing I did seemed to irritate her, how she was constantly glued to her phone, smiling at screens I couldn't see, living in a digital world I wasn't a part of. She was physically there, but her mind, her heart, they were somewhere else entirely. And now this breakup announced like a corporate press release. A break she was taking without me. Sitting there in that dim bar, I felt a switch flip inside me. The hurt was there, of course, but something else was rising to the surface. Resolve. I wasn't going to beg. I wasn't going to fight for someone who had already checked out so completely. I deserved better than to be an afterthought in my own life. I pulled out my laptop, not to book an earlier flight home, but to do something I should have done months ago. I opened Facebook, I navigated to my profile, and with a single click I changed my relationship status to single. No dramatic post, no vague, sad quotes. I let the algorithm do the work. The social media world she'd prioritized would now get the update from me too. Then I opened a new tab and Googled something very specific. When is a live-in partner legally considered a tenant? The answer was my second moment of clarity that day. In my state, if there's no lease, no written contract, and no rent paid directly to the landlord, a person isn't a tenant. They're just a guest, a long-term guest, sure, but a guest nonetheless. And a guest can be asked to leave. At any time. A plan began to form, clear and simple. That night, for the first time in months, I slept soundly. I knew exactly what I needed to do. I didn't wait until Sunday. I changed my flight. On Saturday morning, I landed back in my city and took a cab directly to my apartment. I walked inside, and it was like walking into a museum of our shared life. Her clothes were draped over the chair. Her shoes were piled by the door. The bathroom counter was a battlefield of her makeup and hair products. There were scented candles everywhere, enough to fumigate a cathedral. It was her world, just existing in my space. I didn't hesitate. I went to the storage closet, pulled out every empty box I had, and started packing. I was methodical, not emotional. Her clothes went in one box, her shoes in another. All the creams, lotions, and sprays went into a third. I packed up the mountain of decorative pillows from my couch, the knickknacks from the shelves, everything that had slowly colonized my home. 4 hours, 6 large boxes. And one final phone call. I called a 24-hour locksmith. By 4 p.m., the locks on my apartment were changed. The 6 boxes were neatly stacked by the new, gleaming deadbolt. I sent her one last text. It wasn't angry or mean. It was just information. Hi, Lisa. Your things are packed and inside the front door. I've had the locks changed. Please contact me to arrange a time for you to pick them up. I'll leave the door unlocked for you at that time. That evening, for the first time in 14 months, I sat on my own couch. I didn't have to move 17 decorative pillows just to find a place to sit. The air didn't smell like a field of artificial lavender. It was just my apartment again. My home, and as I sat there in the quiet, a feeling washed over me that I hadn't realized I was missing so badly. It was peace. It was the feeling of taking back my life. And it was the best I had felt in a very, very long time. Thanks for watching and listening to my story. If you've been through something similar, know that you have the strength to reclaim your space and your peace. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories. See you next time.